Okay, so howdy everybody. We are going to move on to part 3 of this series. Where's my... There it is, okay. So in this one, we're going to go ahead and create the database handler script inside of Unity and basically get everything set up to be handing off to PHP in our next video. A couple things between last time I saw you guys in video 2 and this one. Just made some minor changes. I added a cancel button to the create account page, and also changed the size of that message box and did the appropriate UI handlers for the cancel button down there as well. Okay, so let's go ahead into a scripts folder here. I've already got a folder where I want to put my data stuff. So for that, I will just create a new C# script, and I'm going to call this DB handler. And my caps lock is on. That's cute. And let's try this again. DB handler. And I could call it login handler and just handle the login side and make other ones for other parts. And maybe as the project grows, maybe I'll come back and yank things out into separate scripts or whatnot. But for right now, that will do. Let's load this up. So I'm going to kind of keep most collections, generic system, Unity engine, that looks fine. Let's see, some other stuff I will add. I'm going to be taking, whenever the user enters a password, I'm not going to transfer a plain text password to PHP. I'm going to instead transfer a hashed one. And I'm specifically going to use SHA-256, which will translate whatever text password is entered into a 256 character text hash. Yeah. So to access those, I will need to bring in using system.security.cryptography. There we go. And another thing I'm also going to need is a text within the MSDN family. So using, spell it right, using system.text. And eventually, I'm going to, well, actually not eventually in this one, I'm going to also be using www form and Unity web request, and all of those I can find within Unity engine.networking. Okay, so I'm going to definitely need those. That's nice. I've got those added. Some strings I'm going to need, well, some not global, class level variables. I will want a string, and I could make this public to change it in the inspector if I want. I mean, I don't know that I want to, but so I'm not going to right now. I'm just going to do a string. And this is going to be the address for various PHP pages that it's going to need. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start setting up the create account one. So I'll do a string create account dot, no, just, there should be an E after that. Create account, and then I'm going to put PHP here at the end. Will equal, I'm going to define it right up here, HTTP, really should be S, oops, colon, / localhost / let's see, ECGC demo, ECGC _ demo, / let's say database handlers / and this is going to be create account.php. And that is going to be the actual address for where this is, where that PHP file is. And in the next video, we're going to actually create that file. And localhost just means that it's going to be here on my machine. It's going to be on the Apache web server that we set up back in video 1. So some more stuff about where you can find these things. If I go into wherever I installed XAMPP, go to the htdocs folder, and this is where this is basically your web server. So I can have a, let's see, I don't know what that was. So I'm going to go with I'm going to create a new folder here, ECGC _ demo, and then inside that folder, I'm going to create a new folder called DB handlers. And inside this folder, I'm going to eventually make a create account.php file, which we will make in the next video. And I will actually have a couple of other helper PHPs that go with it as well. Let's see. That should be all we need there. Am I going to need a start? You know what? If I need any of those, I can remake those. So let's chuck that out of there. Let's go ahead and get some stuff going here. So I will say public void create account. And let's see. So this account that I'm going to create is going to accept some parameters. One will be a string for a username, and another one will be a string for a password, like that. No, boom, 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 boom. There we go. And what am I going to do inside here? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to convert that string into a hash. So let's do a SHA-256 managed. I'm going to call this crypt. Make a variable here called crypt equals new SHA-256 managed. There we go. And then I'm also going to need a string builder that I'm going to basically be taking this, the hash, and turning it into a string. Kind of in, yeah, okay, so anyway. So let's do a string builder. Oops, I need an I in there. That's why it's not looking right. There it is. And I'm going to call you hash equals new string builder. Try to spell correctly. There we go. Boom. Okay, so now let's do a loop. Basically what we're going to do is, actually before we do that, let's a byte array of let's see. I'm going to call you crypto. Byte array, I'm going to call this hashed, is going to be going to access the, come on now, the SHA-256 managed class there. So I'll go with the crypto.compute hash. I'm going to encode this, and so the parameter for the compute hash is basically what are you going to create a hash for. So let's do encoding.utf8.get bytes of my password. The password that was sent to me. This should be get bytes. There we go. Create a hash of password as array of bytes. There we go. Okay, so now that I've got that, I want to go ahead and convert those into a string. Basically, I want to put them into my hash right up here. So let's do a for each byte this byte in hashed. And what are we going to do with that? We will do a hash dot append. And what do I want to append? This byte dot toString, and let's give it some formatting of x2. Boom, boom. There we go. Okay, so now, so we've got the password. We went ahead and turned it into an array of bytes. That is the hash that came out of the compute hash method. Then we went through a for each loop so that we converted that and added it into our hashed string builder right there. And now we can go ahead and do a string. And, you know, I could also do this other ways instead of that string builder, but this works. So, so string, let's see. Let's do a hashed password equals hash dot toString. We'll convert that. Convert the string builder to a string. There we go. Alrighty. Okay, so now we've got all of this. Now we're ready to basically construct a form. Construct HTML form to send data to PHP, and the PHP will then grab it from there. So that's going to be our basic approach here. So to create our form, we'll do a www. We'll use our form class, and let's call this this form will equal a new www form, boink, boink, and now we'll just start adding some stuff to it. So this form dot add field, and what we do when we add is the first thing is going to be our field name, and the second name is going to be the value or the property, the value that we're going to put in there. And then in our PHP, if you've ever done any PHP, you know you can do a get, and you can just get out of whatever was sent. Okay, so let's see, what do I want to do? I want to do a create account user, comma username. There you go. And then I'll do this form dot add field, create account pass, comma, what did I call it? Hashed password. There we go. Okay, so I've got my form constructed. So now what I need to do with this form is go ahead and send this form off to PHP. In order to do that, I'm going to use a Unity web request. So Unity, which this Unity web request is found in the Unity engine networking that we just used earlier. We'll go with Unity web request. I'll call it a www equals Unity web request equals Unity web request. So what do I want to be basically sending this to eventually? It's going to be create account.php or create account PHP right up there. And what do I want to send? Well, what I want to send is going to be the form that I made, this form. There we go. So Unity web request equals, let's see, I believe I need a new right back here. New. There we go. Create account PHP, and this form is what I'll do. No, I'm being dumb. I want to go move this. I want to do Unity web request dot post. There we go. So I'm going to use the there's two ways you can post. You can send forms, post and the other one. I forget it off the top of my head. But post is really what you want to do anyway. The other one is where it gets appended to the end of your URL. Okay, so that's going to send it out. Now the thing with this is that there's going to be a delay. It's going to send to a web page or to a server, and then there's going to be a delay. So so that the rest of my game keeps running, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and launch a coroutine right here. So we'll do a start a coroutine, and let's do a do account creation, and I will send that coroutine this www. Oh, did I make that 4? Why did I make that 4? That's weird. There we go. 4, 3, little, whatever. Okay, so let's point. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and create that coroutine. So down here, we'll go ahead really quick, do a private I enumerator do account creation, and it is going to accept a Unity web request www. I'll use the same name. Why not? That'll work. Okay, so let's do a yield return www.send web request. Okay, so we're going to send it. We're going to yield and we're going to send it. And then whenever we get back from where we sent it, we will then be able to process some stuff and maybe figure some things out. So let's go ahead and just kind of put some skeleton stuff in here for how we want this to manage things. So basically, we're going to get something back from the PHP. Currently, I'm just going to be sending it as text. And I can get that through www will have a download handler where I can actually access whatever it is that was sent to me, whatever was sent was returned. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. So I am going to go ahead and let's start off with an error message just in case something really wonky happened. If www.isNetworkError, or Another one that can happen is www.is HTTP error. So basically, I didn't even get to the PHP page. For right now, we'll just do a debug.log, and we'll just spit out the error message that the Unity web request is sending back to me. And we'll just run with that for now. And we could actually do some other stuff with that, but for now, we'll just do that. Okay, so now we're ready to go in. So we did not get an error from Unity web request. So we did connect to create account PHP, and we got something back from it. So what do we get back from it? Well, let's make a variable. String message will equal www.downloadHandler.text. The text version of whatever it is I downloaded from there. So what I'm going to do is I will simply say if, let's see, if string dot equals, let's see, MSG comma fail. Let's do it this way. And we might come back to this and do some splitting, once we kind of get a better idea of information we're getting. So if I did not send an error, a fail message back, I'm going to do some stuff. The account was created. Yay, go us. Else, for right now, let's do debug.log. Account creation failed. Need to parse whatever message we sent back. And so, like, most common message that might be sent back will be username already exists, because there can only be one of each username. So that could be a common thing that comes back. All right. Let's see. Yeah, so that's pretty much ready. Now, there's a couple other things we need in here. For instance, we're going to need a delegate as well. It's just that'll make more sense once we get our PHP in the next video connected, and we can start really looking at some stuff there. And once we do that, because basically what's going to happen, let's just go ahead and run this really quick. It's not going to do anything at the moment. But basically what's going to happen is once I click create account, I click all these and I go to create account, it's going to go in and it's going to send off. Where did my Visual Studio go? That was wacky. Okay, so it will then send off. Did I call that on login clicked? That should be on. Oh, this is my UI handler. Oh, I'm having issues. So it will basically send off to create account, which will go through this, and we'll start the coroutine, which then comes back to the UI handler. And so we're going to want to make sure to turn buttons off so that the user can't keep clicking stuff while we're waiting for things to happen. So let's go in here and let's do a, let's see, DB, wrong keyboard, DB handler MyDB. We'll do it that way. And then down inside start here, let's go ahead and say MyDB equals get component DB handler. There we go, like so. Okay, so now down here in my create account, on create account clicked right here, we'll then go ahead with a MyDB dot create account, and we are going to send it some stuff, specifically the username and the password. Done go here. I was looking at that. I was like, we had a whole bunch of error messages in there. It goes inside here. It goes right inside here. Made new account string message. So right here, we're gonna get rid of this message. Well, no, we will keep this message for now. Eventually, that's going to go inside our delegate. But for right now, we'll go here and we will say MyDB dot. What do we want to do? We want to do MyDB dot create account, and then we're going to have to send it a username and a password. So let's come back up here, And let's go ahead and grab these. So what we had done before was we were just using them here. Well, let's do this a little bit differently then. So the user is making a new account, so we'll say string user equals new username dot text, right? Yep, dot text. Come on, text. There we go. And then we'll say string pass equals password dot text. There we go. And I'll just leave all these as they are for right now, because if we get down here, then that means all of our error messages passed. So we can go ahead down here, create account, and send it user comma pass. And it is off and going. We'll send all those on to PHP once we have the PHP built, and we'll then create an account or send back error messages. We'll see. So in our next video, we're going to go ahead and start the process of putting our PHP together and getting the Unity talking to PHP and moving forward. So we'll see you in that video.